Hello everyone who is watching the Legend of the Sea program. Today, we will embark on a special journey, the journey of brave people, resilient children of the vast ocean.
Under the cold sky, where the sea of ice stretches endlessly in the harsh Arctic, there exists a giant creature that is a living symbol of the frozen world, the walrus. Walruses weighing up to thousands of kilograms with majestic long tusks and thick layers of fat to keep their bodies warm, are the target of fierce hunting passed down from generation to generation by Arctic hunters. In that wilderness, the uncompromising struggle for survival begins with a small wooden boat, a few iron spears, and unlimited courage. The wind whistles through the ice, and the sea is as calm as a frozen mirror, occasionally broken by the rumbling sound of a herd of walruses sunning themselves on an iceberg. Inuit hunters are indigenous people in Greenland, Alaska, Canada. They do not simply hunt for pleasure, but to survive. Walrus meat is a source of food. Skin and bones are used as tools. Fat is used as fuel and to keep warm. The hunt begins with patience and a deep understanding of the animals they face. Hunters hide behind ice floes, holding their breath, waiting for the right moment. They do not use cannons or modern guns like in the industrial whaling era. But mostly stick to traditional manual methods, spears, ropes, and hand boats. When an adult walrus leaves the herd or wades into the water alone, it is time for the hunters to act. A spear attached to a rope is launched by hand or with a primitive throwing tool. Deeply embedded in the thick, rubbery skin and fat layer under the animal's belly, the walrus screams, struggles violently, and kicks the water, creating white foam, but the rope is firmly tied to the bow of the boat. And the hunters row hard to control the animal until it is exhausted. Killing a walrus is never easy. They are large, strong, and can seriously injure humans with their sharp tusks. Experienced hunters always keep a safe distance. Once the animal is exhausted, they approach and use spears or large knives to stab weak points such as the neck, earlobes, or behind the shoulder blades. Dark red blood spurts onto the white ice. The walrus's death is slow but certain. After the walrus lies still, the butchering process begins right on the ice, a makeshift butchery in the wild. Men wearing rubber boots and thick winter coats use large knives to make long cuts from the neck down to the belly. The thick skin and fat are peeled off in large chunks. They divide the work clearly. One cuts off the head to get the tusks. Another strips the meat from the shoulders and belly, and another separates the internal organs such as the liver, heart, and kidneys, all of which are highly valued in the community. The walrus fat, a rich source of energy, is loaded into wooden crates or leather bags. The meat is placed on canvas or different skins to avoid contact with the dirty ice. The cold preserves the meat on the spot, without the need for any preservatives. The process of extracting the tusks is a sacred one. Walrus tusks, made from snake tusks, are used as a symbol of strength and also as a material for carving. Carving, or making jewelry. A skilled craftsman will use a handsaw to cut the upper snout in half, carefully separating the muscle and cartilage around the base of the tusk. Each tusk, sometimes up to a meter long, is lifted like a trophy to the howling wind. For the natives, this is not a victory, but a tribute to nature. They often perform a short ritual, expressing gratitude to the spirit of the sacrificed animal. The rest of the carcass, if not all of it, can be taken away, is left on the ice for polar bears or scavengers. Nothing is wasted. In the skilled hands of the Inuit, ribs can become tool handles. The skin is processed into kayaks, belts or drum shells for use in ceremonies. The fat is melted to burn in lamps or candles, and the meat is cut into small pieces, hung on wooden stakes or placed on rocks to dry in the cold wind, a traditional drying process that can last for weeks. Such a hunt is not only a physical feat but also a mental challenge. The outside temperature is often below -30 degrees Celsius. The wind blows like a knife into the flesh. The thin ice can collapse at any moment, and the slightest mistake can send the whole group being swept away in the deadly cold water. But in this danger, traditional values are maintained. Sons follow in their father's footsteps, learning to read walrus tracks, judge the wind direction, observe the skid marks on the ice or the calls of female walruses calling their calves. Today, walrus hunting is tightly controlled by conservation organizations. Only indigenous people are allowed to hunt in limited quantities and according to traditional rituals. But for many communities, keeping the walrus hunt alive is about more than just food. It's about ancestral and cultural ties. In years when the walrus migration is late, hunters have to wait weeks to see a few animals. But no matter how harsh the conditions, the hunters set out. They carry the legacy of thousands of years, their skills, their knowledge of animals, their reverence for nature, and their unyielding determination. On a silent iceberg in the middle of the ocean, the Arctic sun filters through the mist, reflecting a pale yellow light on the smooth body of a walrus that has just been killed. Next to them, the hunters kneel, their hands covered in blood and ice, as they work, whispering in an ancient language. In that quiet moment, nature and man seem to become one. A new cycle of life, death, and renewal begins, and in a place where life exists only through labor and understanding of nature, the hunters quietly continue their journey of survival through each icy season.